Hello, everybody. It is Maddie. I am here reporting from my podcasting chamber, aka my sister's room before she moved out. Anyways, you saw in the last podcast probably, but just in case, we are now on Patreon. So patreon.com/indieheadspodcast. Podcast. We are finally on Patreon. We've been doing the podcast for almost 6 years now, and we're now to the point where we want to ask for your guys' support to help continue the podcast. But I should say up front, no matter what, we're gonna keep doing the podcast. Like, we have a lot of fun doing it. It's again probably for, at least this year wise, it's probably been my favorite thing to do, or one of my favorite things to do this year is the Indie Heads podcast. It's been like one of the few shining bright lights in a obviously a very awful year. So no matter what, we're doing this podcast. But the Patreon will probably help. It'll help us. Really, it'll help us. Want to do the podcast a little more. Knowing that like we have a lot of support, or having enough support to want to keep going. It's gonna hopefully kick us into overdrive a little bit. So yeah, patreon.com/indieheadspodcast. I'll briefly touch on some tiers, some goals, and whatnot. So first and foremost, for just $1 a month, $1 a month, you get access to our Discord server, where just about everyone or most cast members and fans are going to be. So hey, $1 a month, you get access to the Discord server. You will also get episodes up to 24 to 48 hours early. That is probably one of the bigger ones for me. So hey, you want the podcast a little bit early, subscribe to the Patreon, $1 a month. And also you get a weekly playlist from us about what we're listening to and whatnot. So in case we're not doing new episodes on new music, hey, you get a little bit of taste of what we're listening to from there. On top of that, we have a $5 a month tier where you'll get bonus episodes, 1 to 2 a month. Right now, actually, if you subscribe, you'll have a bonus Dean Blunt episode that I recorded with Armando and Ty after we did the Black Metal Retrospect. We're mostly talking about roaches and Zushi, but really we're sort of talking about Dean Blunt's discog as a whole and his career and other things, the other tangents that we went off on about Dean Blunt's. Hey, for $5 a month, you already get a bonus episode right off the bat. And we have another one planned either for late November, early December. So yeah, Art Bet. You get exclusive content for just $5 a month. There's a bunch of other tiers. Again, patreon.com/indieheadspodcast. We'll also have some goals and whatnot. Really, most of our goals just help pay for editing and getting the podcast online. But also, for $75 a month, we hit that goal. We will start a bi-weekly Indie Hits podcast newsletter, writings and whatnot about music. Again, we have a lot of really talented writers. We've already put out some medium pieces this year of our quarterly favorites. But if you want to hear or want to see more writing from us, hey, the newsletter will launch when we hit $75 a month. So yeah, that's all I'll say. Patreon.com/indieheadspodcast. Support us there. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. And if you get to the Patreon, you subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. And yeah, see you guys later.